First and foremost, all gratitude to the divine for placing me here and now, for guidance, protection, and all blessings, big and small. Let's do a reading. In my mind's eye, I saw a wheel turning and I saw a diamond, and that represents something changing, clarity coming in. And then in the cards I saw the 8 of Wands and the Sun, which is movement and also communication, and again something that's going to bring light to something, make you very happy. I've got the 3 of Wands, which is you've got this woman looking out into the water, and this is waiting for something to come in. So this is something you've been waiting for, and across here I've got the 9 of Cups, and so this is something you've been an idea that you've been building within your heart space, and something that relates very much to your sense of growth. You feel like this is meant for you. I also got the Ace of Cups, and as I was closing the deck to lay the cards, there are a few cards that just, that's like they just sort of flipped around. And for me, this feels like had this thing come in before, it would not have come in the form that it can now arrive. Just before, again, laying the cards, I got the message 6 months ago. There's an intention that you set. And I opened up my journal to go back to June, because that's 6 months ago. And I found notes here, 2 main ones that are already relevant. 3. The first one is diamond shape. Look through this shape. It's like a door to a new reality, a window. I saw someone looking through it like there was something that can only be seen through this shape. And then I have notes here. It says, more notes. It says, the 4 elements of a successful relationship: trust, understanding, honesty, communication. This is regarding your relationship with yourself. Spirit is inviting you to build your relationship with yourself. There is something to be cultivated there. And then the next thing, on the next page I've written, a portal has opened. In seeing this diamond and in acknowledging what I said before, that this is something that had it come in earlier, it couldn't come in the way it can come now. And when I hear relationship, I very much feel like this is the relationship with spirit and the relationship with yourself that you've been cultivating. And when I drill down on these 4 elements, trust. So this speaks to me about, already when I see a diamond, it's hard, and it's clear. So trust is telling me that your relationship with how much you trust yourself has completely changed. To pause. We've just come through this full moon in Gemini, and 6 months ago would take us to the new moon in Gemini. And I remember at the time, the Lover's card kept coming up. You're going to have to make a choice. You'll have to make a choice. And I feel this energy very much at this present time, this idea around making choices and how. And these choices being made based purely on whether they improve on your life or not. Because a lot has been built here. A lot has been, cultivated. And anything that's going to compromise that is not really worth your energy. To be honest, if you're honest with yourself. And I think that's where the honesty comes in. Also, honesty is coming up for me in terms of this throat chakra that's been kind of bursting open with so many things that you've been wanting to say that are finally making their way out of your throat. Your expression is coming out with more truth. And as I hear it, I've got that frequency sound in my right ear. Understanding. There is a lot more understanding of yourself. This has come through looking into your past experiences, unpacking those and reconciling them with how you currently think. What triggers you, why. You have a much deeper understanding of yourself, what makes you tick, and the things you still need to clear up for yourself, where you stand in your own way. You're being honest with yourself about where you get in your own way, which I believe is actually very different to how I'm feeling you from 6 months ago. 6 months ago, there was still a sense of, this is why I'm this way, because this experience shaped me this way. And almost an acceptance, and I don't want to call it a comfort, but perhaps too comfortable accepting that that's how you are, and that's how you are. Whereas so much workshopping has been done with yourself in becoming more honest, looking inside rather than looking outside for reasons as to, so like an experience can happen to you, but in actual fact, it's happening for you so that you can heal through it and transform through it. And so there we've invited transformation in. And that's how you're not the same person you were if you look back to 6 months ago. And now with this full moon comes the revelation of all of the way you make choices. It's kind of flipped on its head. And things are now visible almost in the inverse form of how they used to be in you. 0707. And communication. This isn't how we speak to ourselves. I can relate to this very much in terms of, my mental chatter, and not just chatter, how I speak to myself. So not just when I'm using my voice and speaking to other people or referring to myself, my thoughts, my beliefs, how I'm communicating. So this is the transformation of an entire human. Trust, understanding, honesty, and communication in relationship with yourself. These things have become more honest. These things have become more clear. And there is no better way to invite something new into your life when you are clear on where you stand on these things. And I believe you are walking through a portal. You've walked through a portal. You are walking through a portal. The way I see a portal is there are a few phases of making your way through it. The first knowing is the signs that you are actually walking through it. So you see it and you see signs of the fact that you're walking through it. But then there's the mental processing that has to happen where you're kind of considering, how do I stop myself from regressing? How do I keep walking through this portal? How do I maintain this state? And then kind of finding those tools, checking what are you doing right now that is working? How did you get yourself through this portal? What are you doing right now that's working? What have you stopped doing that's not working? This is all part of the portal. And it is wide open, and you're in it, and I feel actually you're in it, and you've already passed through it, is how I want to put it. I saw the 6 of Swords as I was contemplating just this idea of the thoughts that were running through my mind this morning. It was almost like a poem, but it wasn't, I didn't write it. It was just like running through my head in terms of, how things are versus what I need to do. And I woke up feeling refreshed in a way that I haven't felt in such a long time. I also felt a lack of pressure in terms of what to do. I also decided no coffee for me this morning because I feel wide awake. And I definitely feel like this idea of being wide awake and feeling wide awake is like I'm no longer sleeping. And so the only thing that needs to be done is actually something I feel like doing. And to me, this feels like alignment. All of this feels like alignment. And it's like not feeling like there's something that you've completely missed, which is something that has an energy that has kind of been present almost throughout the year. Like, what am I missing? There's nothing I'm missing. And if there is something I'm missing, then I'll find out about it. I just mean that honesty with oneself. I'm currently not fooling myself. And when something arises, I don't need to worry that I am wearing I've got blinkers on, rose-colored glasses. This is not fearing seeing some parts of yourself and addressing them, because now that things have become so clear, when an unclear piece of something comes and smudges, we can work on that. It's ongoing, but it's not so dense and so clouded. There was also this thing around, again, Six of Swords, this thing where you leave a place, you pack, you tidy up, you pack a bag, you have to pack light. And so you pick what's important and off you go sailing away with your, compact stuff you actually feel you need. And you've left a whole lot of baggage behind. Now, you're already moving through this portal. And so with every decision, there is no like sailing back all the way to the place you left to go fetch that heavy stuff. It almost feels nonsensical. Everything you need, you have here, and anything new you will find along the way. And anything that has to reach you will find a faster boat and meet you along the way. There's no need to turn back. It's as if like, once you've left, and you've left. I finally laid these cards. This is a very interesting spread that I've pulled. And also how I've laid the clarity cards, I'm also finding quite intriguing. Okay, first of all, you're anticipating a future fluster. And so you've come from a place where you know something's coming in. You know it. You can feel it. You know it's coming in. But now in the center, I have the King of Cups and the Ace of Swords. This is complete clarity on who you are. You're feeling balanced. You feel like you love yourself. You love how things are. You feel like you have enough to share. You've got clear on your relationship with yourself. Now, what I'm seeing here is that actually, in order for you to get clear on how much you love yourself. Okay, this is getting a bit emotional. But in getting clear on your own self-love and your self-care and clearing your mind of stuff that keeps pulling you in every direction, you had to let go of a whole lot of stuff. The stuff I'm talking about is ideas you had of the future, things you felt you were actively manifesting, people, perhaps a person, stuff that used to make so much sense to you, but that took so long that you had to cut it off to release yourself. Okay, so this feels so strange because it's as if this had to happen for this thing to come in. But now it's creating a fear, and I've got what's crossing you here is the Six of Swords, which came up earlier, and what's clarifying it is the Two of Cups. And so you're worried about how, now that you've left, what if this thing now finds you after you've left? And there's a feeling of stuckness here, because in the outcome I've got the Nine of Swords, and in top of mind here I've got the Queen of Wands and the Page of Swords, which is speaking to me about, you have a vision, and your vision, you've allowed it to completely open up, and it's more, this vision is no longer so much a dictated set of criteria and stuff. It's like a way of being. And so you're in the process of figuring out how you want to be. And that's also something that came up this morning, is that there's no way I need to be. All I have to do is be. Like the part of that poem I told you about that I never wrote, okay? So in the subconscious, I've got the Queen of Swords and the Seven of Wands. And the Queen of Swords is about staying honest with yourself, staying clear and not fooling yourself, and being clear with your inner workings. Again, what we were talking about earlier. And in clarity, the Seven of Wands is like trying to stay strong in this space. So I feel like as much as you're moving through this portal and you know something's coming in, you are fearing your manifestation. You almost over discarded stuff. And I'm not going to say over discarded, because there is no over discarding. I just want you to see that in order to even move through this portal and progress and not feel held back, you had to let things go. However, you are allowed to invite something back in if it finds you along your way. And so this is not asking you to turn back. There's nothing to fear here. Your relationship with yourself has become so clear. And the reason I said it's the way my thought process through laying out these clarity cards, finding clarity, I've been laying them out not in the order that I laid out the spread. This is a Celtic cross spread. So in clarity, I just, for some reason, put at the top of mine, put clarity. And then I was not sure why I was doing it this way. And I feel like this is kind of how you're processing, which I think is absolutely fine. I think it's absolutely fine. Things can find you along your way. There's no order to this stuff. Things can find you along your way, and that's even more comfort in terms of what you need will find you. And what you want to keep in your life will find you. And it's not going to slow you down. And the reason I say I feel like we're revisiting this, because it's clearly not completely clear. That video I posted, maybe the second last or third last one I posted, I don't remember, where that song, Ain't Nobody Gonna Break My Stride. It's like, it's a very similar energy to that situation. This thing is coming in. Whether it's a thing or a person, you have the capacity, you have the clarity, you have everything you need to be able to assess whether this is suitable for you. And imagine that. This thing watched you move through the portal and it's still like, oh my gosh, gotta rush, gotta get there. This thing wants you. It's willing to come find you wherever you are. In your advice, I've got the Knight of Swords and the Star. And these cards are telling me that your advice is to return to yourself. And as I kept staring at the cards, again, I saw the Six of Swords. I saw you sailing away in your boat, and I saw your mental processing as you were packing your bags. And one of the thought processes that I see is this, some of these bags that you left behind are all these questions. Am I enough? What if this doesn't work for them? What if this isn't enough for them? What if I haven't built enough stuff for myself? And what if they have more? And, comparing yourself, feelings of inadequacy. Okay? Feelings of inadequacy are one of the things that you left in the baggage before you went on your boat and sailed away from that version of yourself. And now this is a reminder to return to yourself wherever you are, that what is with you now is all that you need. You don't need anything else. And you certainly don't need that stuff you left behind. Because if someone or something has worked that hard to find you all the way through the portal on the other side, they're not looking for the stuff you left behind. You don't need it. They definitely don't need it. You have everything you need. And so just remember that mental chatter, that negative self-talk, those things belong in the past. And yes, perhaps you encountered this manifestation, this idea, this thing you want back there. And I think that's what sends you back, is that your memory sends you back to that past version where you wanted this thing. And I think that's the chain that sends you back. And so this is a reminder that you're no longer tied to that version. This is like a brand new offer, but it's even better. Why? Because it's like a brand new offer for the brand new version of you, and proof that manifestation does work and that dreams do come true. And that's the star. Definitely this star card is like a reminder of your dreams and a reminder of yourself, and that this is a version of yourself that you once dreamed of. So come back to this. Come back to the present moment. In your surrounding factors, I've got the High Priestess and Temperance. And so this is, whatever this thing is, has manifested you too, okay? Whatever it is has manifested you. And I feel like it is in a space where it has to stay very calm as well, because it knows that the deal has changed. The deal has changed. And the Death card also flashed at me. The Death card for some time now has been representing this portal. And so now we've gone through the death, and this is a new version of you. So a lot of staying calm, and that they're finding you in balance. They're finding you in balance. And so if you can help everyone and stay calm and return to yourself, this will help everyone and the whole situation. And the Knight of Pentacles here too tells me that this has been a long time coming. And back to the Temperance card, this is, he's holding the moon and the sun in his hands, and he's sort of alchemizing these energies. This is representing for me how this has been a team effort. How coming into balance here has been a team effort. And so this has been a long time coming. And so a lot of the shedding you've had to do, and a lot of the transformation that you've had to do, was necessary for this to even be presented. So I want to say you continue to work together. In the area of what you want the most and what you fear the most, I'm laughing because I've got the 9 of Wands and the Hierophant. This feels like, oh gosh, another journey. So there's just like this, this, I don't want to call it's not grief, but it's just like good grief. Another journey. But like this is a good thing. But you're just like a bit tired from all the work, and you're kind of feeling so relieved, and you're just like, but you want this. You want this. I'm hearing this is the nature of the beast. And I'm just going to go back to this advice of returning to yourself. Return to yourself, because in the outcome, I've got the 9 of Swords, the 8 of Swords, and when I got a clarity card, it was the 8 of Cups. And so this is what you're just going to have to keep doing, is when you recognize that you are running from your manifestation, you recognize some of these past thoughts, return to yourself. And the 8 of Swords, she's got a mirror. There's a mirror in front of her. And so this is telling me to, although she can't see herself, this is saying return to yourself as well when you find yourself in these looping thoughts that send you back to yourself. And the 8 of Cups is, you've left that stuff behind. And so look at yourself now in the mirror and remember that sometimes the past does visit. This reminds me of the ghost of Christmas past. And so what I want to say is, don't run from, this ghost, from these ghosts from the past. They actually return to remind you who you are now and to bring you back to the present. I want to close this reading off with a card from the Rumi Oracle deck. And the card I have here is Commitment. The awakened heart is like a lantern. Keep it sheltered from the turbulence of the winds of desire. Rumi. We are candles lit by the one great flame. The breath of life does not extinguish us. On the contrary, it only serves our flame to blaze brighter. Here, in the temple of one love, there is no flickering or smoke to our flame. We are natural in our purpose, simply to bring the warmth and light of love to life. We dance, though we are stillness. We are on fire, though we do not burn. There is a flame that must be safeguarded. In truth, it can never be extinguished. It is the light that never goes out. Even with such enduring power, our recognition and respect of this flame is essential to human development. This flame is holy and lies within each human heart. When the flame is recognized for its worth, it ceases to flicker and smoke, becoming very still. In the stillness, the light can fulfill its destiny to shine brightly so as to reveal every path, absolutely clear and without wavering in the fluctuations of fear and attachment. Desire does not have to be a hindrance on the path. It can show us our passions and help us to find our purpose. However, the attachment that can come with desire, the belief that it can be satiated only with one particular person, one set of circumstances, can cause us to stop looking at what the light is revealing to us, the way forward on our path in the here and now, and instead try to forcibly conjure the shadows to become what we imagine they should be. When we stop seeing life as it is, showing up for us every moment and engaging with it as it is, we can become careless with the light of the heart. Our huffing and puffing to force what does not need to be forced can cause the heart light to flicker and waver. This can make our way seem uncertain, and doubts can crowd in upon us as the light is compromised in its purpose. We forget to trust in what is because we get caught up in attachment and fear surrounding our desires. Rather than letting life move us, we try to move life. There is a way forward on your life path that needs to be seen by you now. It will be helpful for you to have that clarity and that certainty. You might have already caught a glimpse of it, but be doubting your vision or yourself. This oracle comes as a reminder to you. Don't doubt. What you are feeling deep within the passionate love of your heart light is true. It is real. You are being led into it by the progress of life itself. You must trust in this, even if it seems at times as though you are being led away from the vision. Life operates according to a genius that is beyond a linear approach. It is to be trusted rather than understood. There is enough challenge in the personal transformation being asked of you to simply take the steps. That is more than enough. You do not have to also create or control the terrain, nor determine the map of the journey. You simply need to take each step that presents itself to you in each moment. Don't let fear that your desire won't manifest cause you to bend life to your will. It is an unnecessary battle, and one that will not serve your soul here. Instead, just show up, be present. Attend to what is before you in each moment, and trust yourself. Let the light of your heart take you into serenity that will bring you the balm of a solid core of comfort, even whilst the world shifts and changes according to workings of divine will. As you move along your life journey, step by step, that divine will is moving you too, Shining One, into fulfillment of your destiny. Life is not working at cross purposes with you. Far from it. It is a co-conspirator with your heart. Come back to the stillness of the love within and allow your heart light to be what it is, reliable and true, showing you the way even now in peace and stillness. That card couldn't actually have been more perfect and appropriate. Sending you love. If you're interested in a personal reading from me, I've left my details below in the description box.